Drawing a parallel between new Packers running back Josh Jacobs and former Packers standout Aaron Jones through the lens of various advanced metrics, let's delve into an analysis of their performance. In a bold move on the first day of NFL free agency, Green Bay Packers GM Brian Gutekunst secured the services of Josh Jacobs while parting ways with Aaron Jones. This shift in the running back position raised eyebrows across the league. While some perceive this swap as perplexing, there are notable factors to consider. In the 2022 season, Jones achieved a career-high rushing yardage of 1,121, whereas Jacobs led the league with 1,653 yards. Notably, Jacobs holds a nearly 4-year age advantage over Jones, with a contract securing his presence in the backfield for the foreseeable future. However, scrutinizing the stats from the 2023 season reveals that Jones outshines Jacobs in several key areas. Comparing Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones as rushers. In terms of rushing, Jacobs amassed 805 yards with an average of 3.5 yards per carry and 6 touchdowns in 13 games, while Jones secured 656 yards, averaging 4.6 yards per carry with 2 touchdowns in 11 games. A deeper analysis reveals Jones' superiority across multiple metrics. Missed tackle percentage. Jones ranked 20th with 15.5%, whereas Jacobs trailed at 34th with 12%. Yards after contact per carry. Jones ranked 11th with 3.15, whereas Jacobs ranked 46th with 2.35. 10-yard runs. Jones had 6 more than Jacobs despite fewer carries. Percentage of runs resulting in a first down. Jones ranked 16th with 23.9%, whereas Jacobs ranked 48th with 14.6%. Success rate. Jones topped the list at 62%, whereas Jacobs ranked 31st with 45.9%. Elusive rating. Jones ranked 21st with 58.5, while Jacobs trailed at 46th with 32.2. Additionally, compared to their respective backups, Jones boasted a 1.2-yard advantage per carry over A.J. Dillon, while Jacobs lagged by 0.8 yards per carry compared to Zamir White. Examining the 2022 season, Jacobs clinched the NFL rushing title with 1,653 yards, accompanied by impressive advanced stats, including his ability to force missed tackles and achieve first downs. Comparing Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones as receivers. In receiving, both players posted similar numbers, with Jacobs catching 37 passes for 296 yards and Jones hauling in 30 passes for 233 yards and 1 touchdown. A deeper analysis of their performance when targeted in the passing game reveals nuances in their catch percentage, yards per route, and drop percentage. Despite Jones' historical edge in fumbles, Jacobs has showcased reliability and ball security throughout his career. Considering playoff impact. While some express concerns over the age discrepancy between Jones and Jacobs, with Jones nearing 30 and Jacobs poised to complete his contract before reaching that milestone, Jacobs' robust physique and potential playoff performance at Lambeau Field offer promising prospects. Ultimately, the success of this roster shuffle hinges on Jacobs' ability to replicate his past performance for the Packers and Jones' capacity to shine in Minnesota, akin to his impressive stretch in the latter part of the 2023 season. Packers 2024 free agent tracker. K'Shawn Nixon resigns, Jonathan Owens departs. With the commencement of NFL free agency, here's the rundown of arrivals and departures as the Green Bay Packers aim to enhance last year's playoff squad. Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Green Bay Packers progressed to the divisional round of the NFC playoffs in 2023. General Manager Brian Gutekunst aims to bolster the roster during NFL free agency. Here's the latest update. Contracts for McKinney, Jacobs. The deals are finalized for the 2 significant free agent acquisitions, safety Xavier McKinney and running back Josh Jacobs. The Packers structured their contracts with minimal base salaries for year 1 to manage their cap space for 2024. However, their cap figures will escalate in the following years, albeit there are methods to mitigate these numbers by deferring financial obligations. Here are the specifics. Signed by Bears, Jonathan Owens. After a sole season with the Packers, Jonathan Owens has inked a 2-year deal worth $4.5 million with the Chicago Bears, as reported by NFL Network's Mike Garafolo. A starter for 17 games with Houston in 2022, Owens fulfilled his scouting report as a reliable defender, albeit not particularly dynamic. Throughout 17 games, which included 11 consecutive starts to conclude the season, He ranked 5th on the team with 74 tackles. He didn't register any interceptions, managed 3 passes defensed, and forced 1 fumble. His standout moment was a touchdown from a fumble recovery in the victory against Detroit. Re-signed, Tyler Davis, Corey Ballentine. The Packers have announced the re-signings of 2 key players for their special teams. Tyler Davis pinned a 1-year contract on Monday, with the deal being officially confirmed today. Corey Ballentine, who filled in at cornerback when Jaire Alexander was sidelined due to injury, returns to Green Bay. He emerged as a success story during Alexander and Eric Stokes' prolonged absences. Both athletes offer depth at cornerback and tight end, with their primary contributions expected to be on Rich Bisaccia's special teams unit. Re-signed, Kayshon Nixon. Per Ian Rappaport of NFL Network, Kayshon Nixon has reached an agreement with Green Bay on a 3-year contract with a potential value of $19.2 million. Nixon served as the team's main kickoff returner and slot cornerback last season. He was deemed a priority free agent due to his contributions on special teams, and the team was impressed with his performance in the slot. Given the nature of his contract, it suggests the Packers envision Nixon as a starting option in the secondary once again. Signed by Vikings, Aaron Jones. Continuing the trend of former Packers stars, Aaron Jones has signed a 1-year deal with the Minnesota Vikings. This follows a long line of notable departures from Green Bay, ranging from Hall of Famer Brett Favre to standout players like Greg Jennings and role players like Dean Lowry. Signed, Xavier McKinney. The Packers secured the top talent in the deep safety market, reportedly agreeing to a 4-year deal with former Giants standout Xavier McKinney. McKinney is the versatile safety that GM Brian Gutekunst had been seeking, capable of playing deep, in the box, and in the slot. He demonstrated consistency in tackling and made impactful plays on the ball. This signing comes after the departure of former starter Darnell Savage to the Jaguars. Savage lacked productivity and struggled with tackling, ranking among the league's worst safeties in this aspect.
Kayshon Nixon had an excellent response upon renewing his contract with the Packers. Kayshon Nixon remains with the team as the Green Bay Packers extended his contract for 3 years, worth $18 million, according to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. Nixon, a 2-time first-team All-Pro, excels as a kick returner and served as the starting slot corner last season, showcasing his skills with 6 pass defenses and a crucial interception against the Kansas City Chiefs. Nixon proves to be a game-changer in special teams, demonstrating his willingness to retrieve the ball deep in the end zone and possessing the ability to break away for significant gains. Notably, he unleashed a pivotal 73-yard return during the divisional round against the San Francisco 49ers. In the previous season, Nixon accumulated 782 yards from returning 30 kicks, averaging an impressive 26.1 yards per return, leading the league in both total and average kick return yards. Following the signing of his new 3-year deal with the Packers, Nixon expressed his delight through 2 tweets, signaling his commitment to Green Bay. Despite initial concerns about Nixon's departure, the Packers managed to secure his signature before February 19th, preventing his contract from voiding, which would have resulted in a $1.1 million dead cap charge in 2024. Historically, the Packers have not retained free agents whose contracts voided. Last year, all 6 players in similar situations signed with other teams. This offseason, Nixon, along with Darnell Savage and Josh Nijman, faced voiding contracts. While Savage joined the Jacksonville Jaguars in free agency, Nijman remains a free agent. Despite the small dead cap hit incurred this season due to Nixon's contract restructuring, the Packers have sufficient cap space to accommodate it, ensuring the retention of their back-to-back All-Pro returner in Green Bay. 7th-round Packers simulated draft. Brian Gutekunst embraces opportunities. The initial phase of free agency has concluded. The Green Bay Packers have bolstered their roster with acquisitions at safety and running back, and we revisit those areas in our latest 7th-round mock draft. The NFL's initial free agency period has wrapped up. Although Green Bay Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst could explore subsequent waves of free agency, history shows he's not averse to drafting for positions he's already addressed with veterans. Utilizing the PFF